911, what's your emergency? A woman's voice, trembling and frantic, responds. My stepdaughter. There's blood everywhere. What happens when the person who upholds the law breaks it? Before we uncover this disturbing story, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. On June 14, 2022, at 8:50 p.m., a frantic 911 call shattered the tranquility of Springfield, Illinois, a quiet suburb of Chicago. The caller was identified as Laura Mitchell, a 47-year-old judge respected for her work in the Sangamon County Circuit Court. Upon arrival, first responders were greeted by a chilling sight. Jessica Brown, Laura's 24-year-old stepdaughter, lay lifeless in the kitchen, her body slumped over the sink, partially submerged in soapy water, with a 6-inch kitchen knife embedded deeply into the back of her skull. Laura claimed she had just returned home from a late court session when she discovered the body. According to her account, she left the house at approximately 6 p.m. to handle paperwork at the courthouse, a routine task she often performed. When she arrived home, she reported finding the back door slightly ajar, a pane of glass shattered, chairs overturned, and general disarray throughout the house. All signs, she insisted, of a botched robbery attempt. Jessica had resided with Laura and her biological father, Michael Brown, since 2015, following the tragic death of her mother in a car accident. Michael, 50 years old, worked as a warehouse supervisor for a local shipping company. Laura told responding officers that she last saw Jessica alive earlier that evening before leaving for the courthouse. She described their relationship as cordial but noted that Jessica had been unusually quiet and withdrawn in recent weeks. Springfield Police Department Detective Ryan Anderson, a seasoned investigator known for his meticulous approach, arrived on the scene within minutes. At 38 years old, Anderson had earned a reputation for unraveling even the most complex cases through careful observation and thorough investigation. As he surveyed the crime scene, questions immediately arose. The knife used in the killing was not an intruder's weapon. It belonged to the household, taken directly from the kitchen block. Before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Additionally, the shards of broken glass were scattered outside the door rather than inside, contradicting the typical pattern of forced entry during a burglary. These inconsistencies suggested that the supposed break-in might be staged. Further examination revealed additional anomalies. Scuff marks marred the linoleum flooring, indicating some form of struggle. A faint trail of blood led toward the sink, suggesting movement after the initial attack. And most alarmingly, Jessica's mobile phone was nowhere to be found, raising suspicions about its disappearance. Neighbors across the street added another layer of complexity to the case. They reported hearing raised voices, possibly a woman yelling, around 8 p.m., well before Laura claimed to have returned home. Detective Anderson meticulously documented every detail, aware that this case would require extensive scrutiny. He noted the precise angle of the knife, which pierced Jessica's brainstem with surgical precision, implying both intent and familiarity with human anatomy. Such accuracy was inconsistent with the erratic behavior expected from a panicked intruder. Furthermore, there was no indication that valuables had been stolen from the house, undermining the notion of a robbery gone wrong. The location itself provided context. Springfield is one of Chicago's more affluent suburbs, characterized by spacious homes and manicured lawns. Judge Mitchell's residence stood out among its upscale surroundings, featuring modern amenities and a reputation for being impeccably maintained. This contrast between the pristine exterior and the violent events unfolding within only deepened the mystery surrounding Jessica's death. On June 15th, Detective Ryan Anderson intensified his investigation into the death of Jessica Brown, assembling a team to meticulously dissect the crime scene and Laura Mitchell's account. The kitchen at Laura's home on Springfield Avenue presented immediate red flags that contradicted her version of events. Forensic analysis revealed the knife's trajectory. A precise downward stab straight into Jessica's brainstem was inconsistent with the chaotic movements expected from a panicked intruder. Another anomaly emerged concerning the broken glass at the back door. A typical burglar would have smashed the pane inward, scattering shards inside the house. Instead, the fragments lay scattered outside in the grass, catching the light under the porch lamp, an observation that further undermined the notion of forced entry. Despite these inconsistencies, Laura maintained her story, claiming she had been at the courthouse until 8:30 p.m., working late alongside her judicial assistant, Daniel Harris. At 32 years old, Daniel corroborated her alibi, stating they had spent the evening reviewing case files. Anderson turned his attention to Michael Brown, Jessica's father and Laura's husband. According to warehouse security footage, Michael clocked out of his shift at exactly 7 p.m. A gas station receipt timestamped at 7:12 p.m. confirmed his stop on the way home. By the time he arrived at Springfield Avenue, police were already swarming the property. During questioning, Michael described Jessica as unusually withdrawn over the past few weeks, often pacing around the house and avoiding direct answers when questioned about her behavior. However, he could offer no explanation for her change in demeanor. The forensic team uncovered critical evidence during their sweep of the crime scene. Alongside the bloody knife, investigators retrieved a pair of waterlogged rubber dish gloves tangled in the sink's drain and identified a distinct size 9 female footprint preserved in a drying smear of blood near the counter. These details pointed toward a struggle within the house before Jessica's fatal injury. The absence of Jessica's mobile phone added another layer of mystery, prompting Anderson to subpoena her cell records. Analysis revealed her last outgoing call occurred at 7:45 p.m. to Megan Taylor, a 25-year-old bartender at a downtown dive bar. Megan met with Anderson later that afternoon, visibly shaken as she recounted her interactions with Jessica. She disclosed receiving a troubling text message on May 25th, in which Jessica wrote, "My stepmom's a monster. She's using her robe to hurt people." When pressed for more information, Jessica had grown evasive, hinting at something sinister but refusing to elaborate. This revelation fueled Anderson's suspicions, suggesting Jessica may have uncovered a secret worth killing to protect. To delve deeper, Anderson examined Laura's court history, uncovering disturbing patterns. Files revealed hushed complaints from parolees such as Ashley Reed, 29, who in 2020 alleged coercion by a court official before mysteriously retracting her claims. Another document detailed a dismissed 2019 probe into Laura's unusually lenient rulings for certain female defendants. While inconclusive on their own, these findings collectively hinted at a broader pattern of misconduct tied to Laura's position as a judge. As the investigation progressed, Anderson pieced together an increasingly complex puzzle. The anomalies at the crime scene, coupled with Jessica's cryptic warnings and Laura's questionable alibi, painted a picture far removed from the simple robbery narrative initially proposed. Each new discovery brought Anderson closer to unraveling the truth behind Jessica's murder, revealing layers of deceit that threatened to expose a darker side of justice itself. By June 18th, Detective Ryan Anderson expanded the suspect pool in the investigation into Jessica Brown's murder. While Laura Mitchell remained the most obvious lead due to her presence at the scene and inconsistencies in her timeline, Anderson knew he needed solid proof before making any accusations. He carefully ruled out other possibilities, ensuring every angle was explored. Michael Brown was quickly cleared of suspicion. Warehouse security footage confirmed that Michael clocked out of his shift at exactly 7 p.m., and a gas station receipt timestamped at 7:12 p.m. verified his stop on the way home. Given the 15-minute drive from the gas station to their residence on Springfield Avenue, Michael arrived home shortly after police were already present. Co-workers described him as a quiet, hard-working man who deeply cared for Jessica, leaving no motive or opportunity for involvement in her death. Next under scrutiny was Daniel Harris, Laura's judicial assistant. During an intense interrogation at the precinct, Daniel appeared increasingly uneasy under pressure. He admitted that Laura had left the courthouse earlier than initially claimed, at 7:15 p.m. instead of 8:30 p.m., after a brief meeting with a clerk. This revelation gave Laura ample time to return home by 8 p.m., aligning closely with the timeline of events leading up to Jessica's death. However, Daniel's phone records revealed another concerning detail. A call to Laura at 8:45 p.m., just moments before her frantic 911 call, lasting precisely 42 seconds. When pressed further about the nature of this conversation, Daniel clammed up, requesting legal representation. His sudden reluctance to cooperate raised additional questions about his role or knowledge in the crime. A significant breakthrough occurred when Ashley Reed, a parolee with a petty theft record, walked into the police station unprompted on June 18th. Her voice trembling with emotion, she disclosed how Laura had coerced her into performing sexual acts in exchange for parole leniency in 2021. Fearing retribution, Ashley had kept silent until Jessica's death made headlines. Her story was corroborated by Nicole Parker, 33, another ex-defendant convicted of check fraud. Nicole pointed fingers at Olivia Clark, 40, Laura's clerk, claiming Olivia was responsible for scheduling these private meetings in Laura's chambers. Summoned for questioning, Olivia vehemently denied any wrongdoing. However, Anderson presented her with damning evidence. Call logs showing 12 communications between her and Ashley in 2021 alone. Caught off guard, Olivia attempted to explain them away as work-related, but her shaky explanation only heightened suspicions. As the investigation unfolded, it became clear that Olivia played a pivotal role in facilitating Laura's predatory behavior over the years. Meanwhile, forensic analysis provided crucial links tying Laura to the crime scene. Investigators determined that the size 9 footprint found near the kitchen counter matched Laura's courtroom loafers. Additionally, Jessica's final phone call to Megan Taylor at 7:45 p.m. ended abruptly, suggesting a sudden interruption. When questioned again, Megan revealed that Jessica had uncovered something big involving Laura's job, but refused to elaborate, hinting at corruption within the court system. Megan returned to the station later, providing more details. She explained that Jessica had been gathering evidence against Laura for months, believing her stepmother was abusing her position as a judge. Jessica mentioned finding a prepaid phone while cleaning Laura's office, which contained incriminating messages about secret meetings with female defendants. Though Jessica planned to confront Laura directly, she feared retaliation if her suspicions proved true. The investigation continued to uncover new layers of corruption surrounding Laura's career. Files pulled from the courthouse revealed hushed complaints from multiple parolees over the past 5 years. Women like Ashley Reed and Nicole Parker detailed how Laura used her position to coerce them into performing sexual favors in exchange for lighter sentences or reduced probation terms. These encounters often took place in Laura's chambers during closed-door hearings, orchestrated by Olivia Clark, who acted as both facilitator and accomplice. In exchange for her cooperation, Olivia received cash payments totaling thousands of dollars, ensuring her silence and loyalty. Daniel Harris, though initially hesitant, eventually cooperated further under pressure. During subsequent interrogations, he admitted that Laura frequently asked him to cover for her alibis, including the one she fabricated on the night of Jessica's death. He also revealed that Laura had instructed him to dispose of evidence linked to her illegal activities, such as blood-stained clothing and documents detailing her illicit arrangements. Daniel's confession added weight to the growing body of evidence against Laura, painting a picture of a woman willing to go to extreme lengths to protect her reputation and maintain control over those around her. As the pieces fell into place, Anderson pieced together the sequence of events leading up to Jessica's murder. On the evening of June 14th, Jessica confronted Laura after discovering the prepaid phone and its incriminating contents. A heated argument ensued, culminating in violence when Laura snapped, grabbing Jessica from behind and attempting to drown her in the sink. When Jessica resisted, clawing at Laura's arms, Laura retrieved the kitchen knife and delivered the fatal blow. Panicked, she staged the scene to resemble a botched robbery, smashing a pane of glass outward and overturning furniture to create the illusion of forced entry. On June 20th, Detective Ryan Anderson executed a critical search warrant on Laura Mitchell's courthouse office, uncovering a locked drawer containing a prepaid phone. Upon powering it up, investigators discovered dozens of incriminating texts to parolees and defendants, arranging clandestine meetings in her chambers. One chilling message, dated May 15th, read, 2 p.m. tomorrow, or back to Stateville Correctional Center. An ultimatum that underscored Laura's corrupt tactics. Another significant discovery came when investigators located Jessica's missing phone in a dumpster 2 blocks from the courthouse. Though its data had been wiped, forensic experts managed to partially recover a crucial audio clip from June 10th. The recording captured Laura's voice during what appeared to be a heated argument at home. "You don't know what I've done to keep this family afloat." Enhanced analysis revealed background noise of Jessica muttering, "I'm not letting this go," suggesting she was aware of Laura's illicit activities and determined to confront her. Forensic analysis delivered a bombshell. DNA found under Jessica's fingernails, scraped during the struggle, matched Laura's profile, as confirmed by a court-ordered swab. This evidence directly linked Laura to the violent altercation that led to Jessica's death. Daniel Harris, during reinterrogation on June 21st, confessed to lying earlier in his testimony. He admitted that Laura called him at 8:45 p.m. on the night of the murder, instructing him to handle things. Daniel claimed he stayed silent initially to protect his job, unaware of the full extent of Laura's actions. His admission corroborated suspicions that Laura orchestrated a post-murder cleanup, attempting to conceal evidence and fabricate an alibi. Under mounting pressure, Olivia Clark, Laura's clerk, also broke her silence. She admitted to scheduling private meetings, referred to as sessions, in Laura's chambers for over 2 years. For each arrangement, Olivia received $200 in cash payments to ensure her cooperation and silence. Ashley Reed and Nicole Parker were among the victims named by Olivia, their testimonies painting a disturbing picture of a 5-year coercion ring. Laura targeted vulnerable women on probation or facing criminal charges, offering leniency in exchange for sexual favors such as oral sex and intercourse. These arrangements were enforced through threats of imprisonment if they refused or spoke out. Anderson collaborated with forensic experts on June 22 to conduct a detailed reenactment of the crime scene. The knife's downward trajectory and depth matched Laura's physical characteristics, a height of 5 feet 7 inches and corresponding arm strength, ruling out the possibility of a random intruder acting impulsively. Additionally, a faint bruise discovered on Jessica's wrist suggested she had been grabbed from behind during the struggle, further supporting the theory of a deliberate attack rather than self-defense. As the investigation progressed, the robbery narrative crumbled under the weight of accumulating evidence. It became increasingly clear that Jessica's murder was tied to her discovery of Laura's predatory secret. But questions remained. Was Laura acting alone, or was she part of a larger network of corruption? The answer would soon come to light, exposing the dark underbelly of power and abuse hidden within the halls of justice. Further examination of Laura's courthouse office uncovered additional damning documents. A handwritten notebook contained notes detailing specific encounters with various women, including dates, times, and explicit descriptions of the favors demanded. One entry referenced Ashley Reed by name, noting her compliance after being threatened with extended incarceration. Another mentioned Nicole Parker, who had initially resisted but eventually succumbed to Laura's intimidation tactics. These meticulous records demonstrated Laura's calculated approach to exploiting her position of authority for personal gain. Financial records added another layer of complexity to the case. Investigators discovered irregular deposits into Laura's personal accounts, totaling tens of thousands of dollars over the past 5 years. Bank statements revealed frequent transfers between Laura and Olivia Clark, solidifying the latter's role as an accomplice in the scheme. Additional clerks and colleagues were identified as potential participants in similar arrangements, expanding the scope of the scandal beyond just Laura and Olivia. Daniel Harris provided even more insight during subsequent interrogations. He admitted that Laura often instructed him to destroy any evidence linking her to her illicit activities, including shredded papers, deleted emails, and wiped devices. Despite his initial reluctance to cooperate fully, Daniel eventually disclosed how Laura pressured him into covering for her on multiple occasions, including fabricating false alibis and misdirecting police investigations. The forensic team conducted extensive testing on both Jessica's recovered phone and the prepaid device found in Laura's office. Advanced data recovery techniques extracted deleted messages, photos, and videos, providing irrefutable proof of Laura's misconduct. One particularly damning video showed Laura meeting secretly with a female defendant in her chambers, engaging in inappropriate behavior while discussing pending legal matters. This footage served as a smoking gun, leaving little room for doubt about Laura's guilt. On June 22, Laura Mitchell was arrested in her chambers at the Sangamon County Courthouse, cuffed mid-sentence as she dictated notes to Daniel Harris. Despite the mounting evidence against her, Laura clung to her fabricated robbery narrative, insisting an intruder killed Jessica during a petty theft gone wrong. However, Detective Ryan Anderson confronted her with irrefutable proof. The audio clip from Jessica's phone, the DNA under Jessica's fingernails matching Laura's profile, and the bloody footprint near the sink that matched her courtroom loafers. Cornered, Laura pivoted to a self-defense claim, contradicted this narrative. The presence of water in the sink, drowning marks on Jessica's neck, and the precision of the skull stab pointed unmistakably to premeditation. After 6 hours of deliberation, the jury returned a guilty verdict on all counts. On January 28, Judge Stephen Hayes, a stern figure brought in from Springfield to preside over the case, sentenced Laura to life without parole for murder and an additional 15 years for misconduct. In his statement, Judge Hayes declared, "You turned justice into a tool of depravity." Daniel and Olivia served their agreed-upon sentences, while the court itself faced a federal probe into systemic corruption. The community of Springfield reeled from the revelations, grappling with the unraveling of Laura's reign of terror. For Michael, the loss of his daughter left an indelible void, while Jessica's bravery became a symbol of courage in the face of abusive power. Justice was served, but the scars ran deep, serving as a stark reminder of the dark side of authority and the importance of accountability. If this story shocked you, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories just like this one. Thank you for watching.